sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
All right, so you ready to take a deep dive into this Eagles-Packers wild card game?
Absolutely. Let's get into it.
Okay, so obviously the Eagles won 22-10, but I think there's a lot more to dig into here than just the score.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
One thing that really jumped out at me right away was that opening kickoff. The Eagles forced a turnover right off the bat.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see that too often in a playoff game, right?
That's pretty rare. It definitely is unusual to see that happen, and it really set the tone for the whole game. You know, you could just feel the momentum shift right to the Eagles' side, and it wasn't just that one play either. They ended up winning the turnover battle 4-0, which is a huge advantage.
That's crazy, 4-0.
Yeah, it's...
Like, did the Packers even have a chance with that kind of turnover differential?
I mean, it's basic football, right?
Yeah.
Protect the ball, and especially in the playoffs when the stakes are so high.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the Fox Sports analysis, and it shows just how much those turnovers really impacted the game.
Right. Well, after a Packers turnover, the Eagles averaged almost 6 yards per play.
Wow.
Compared to just over 3 yards per play otherwise.
So almost double.
Yeah, almost double the yardage. That's a huge difference in field position.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, every turnover was like a mini victory for the Eagles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Setting them up
pretty much
for success on that next drive. But
yeah.
Okay, so this same analysis also mentioned that the Eagles' offense was a little sloppy, even though they won.
Yeah.
Does that worry you at all?
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. You know, it makes you wonder if they can rely solely on their defense to go all the way. I mean, they'll be facing much tougher opponents than the Packers in the next round.
That's true. And so they squeaked by this time, but can they keep winning if the offense isn't clicking?
Well, their defense is dominant, no question about it. I mean, it's arguably the best in the league right now.
Yeah.
They just suffocate. Opponents create turnovers. It seems like they do it at will, but a Super Bowl run, you know, you need a more balanced attack.
For sure. So they have this powerhouse defense, but the offense needs some work.
Yeah.
What else did you find interesting in the stuff you were looking at?
Well, there was this interesting little tidbit about A.J. Brown.
Okay.
Apparently, he was spotted reading on the sideline during the game.
Wait, really? Reading with a playbook or something?
No, like an actual book. That's what the article said. It's just a small thing.
Yeah.
But I think it says a lot about his personality, you know, how confident and focused he is. It's almost like he knew they had the game in the bag.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Talk about being cool under pressure.
Right.
So we talked about the good stuff. There were also a couple injuries mentioned.
Yeah.
Romeo Doubs for the Packers.
Yeah.
And Nakobe Dean for the Eagles.
Okay.
How do you think those injuries could impact things moving forward?
Well, injuries are always a concern in the playoffs. You know, Doubs going down really hurts the Packers offense, which was already struggling.
Right.
And as for Dean, you know, he's a key part of that Eagles linebacker core. So his absence could create a vulnerability in their defense.
So even with this incredible defense, the Eagles aren't invincible.
Right.
You mentioned their next opponent will be a tougher challenge.
Yeah, definitely a step up.
What should we be looking for as they head into that divisional round matchup?
Well, the source material pointed out some concerns about the Eagles' offensive line.
Okay.
If they face a team with a strong pass rush, that could be a real problem for them.
So their success really hinges on their ability to protect their quarterback.
Pretty much, if they can't keep him upright, it's going to be tough.
All right, so the big question is, can they shore up that offensive line?
Yeah.
And find some more consistency on offense?
Right.
Or will they have to rely even more on their defense to carry them?
Exactly. It's a crucial moment for them.
It really is. It'll be fascinating to see how they adapt.
It will. Can the coaching staff make the adjustments they need? Or will their weaknesses be exposed against a top-tier opponent?
That's what we'll all be watching for.
Definitely.
So it's interesting. You have this team, the Eagles, with a defense that is just shutting everyone down.
Right.
But they're not perfect.
Nope. They've got some things to work on.
And the next couple games are really going to be a test for them.
Absolutely. These next few weeks are going to be crucial.
Thinking about the A.J. Brown thing.
Yeah.
Him reading on the sideline, you know, kind of nonchalantly while his team is in this playoff game.
Yeah.
It's like he already knew the defense was going to win it for them.
Well, it shows you the level of trust they have in each other.
Yeah.
And that trust, you know, it's built on what they've done all season.
Yeah.
Their defense has been so consistent.
But we were talking about how the playoffs are a different animal, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The competition ramps up.
Yeah.
The intensity is higher.
Absolutely.
Do you think their defense can take them all the way to the Super Bowl?
That's a great question. We've seen teams ride a great defense to a championship before, but the Eagles can't just rely on the same thing every game.
You're saying their opponents will start to figure them out?
Exactly. Opposing coaches are going to be studying that film.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be looking for any little weakness they can find.
So what can the Eagles do? They can't just change their whole offense overnight, right?
No, but they can play smarter and more efficient.
Okay.
You know, they don't need to score 30 points a game.
If the defense is holding everyone to 10 points or less.
Exactly. It's all about maximizing their strengths.
Right.
Minimizing their weaknesses.
It's about balance, right?
Yeah. Finding that balance between a dominant defense
right.
and an offense that can do just enough to get by.
So as they get ready for this divisional round game,
yep.
what are some of the challenges you see coming up for them?
Well, we talked about the offensive line being a potential issue.
Yeah.
Their next opponent, they have a really good pass rush.
Okay.
So if the Eagles can't protect their quarterback, it could be a long day.
So it all comes down to that pass rush.
It's a huge factor for sure. They need to give their quarterback time to throw.
Right.
They need to get the running game going.
Yeah.
Avoid those big sacks.
It's like a chess match.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Every team is trying to outsmart the other one, find those little advantages.
And for the Eagles, that offensive line is a big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
If they can't keep that piece strong, it could affect their whole game.
So even with the amazing defense,
yep.
no guarantees in the playoffs.
That's right. Anything can happen.
They got to play smart and disciplined football.
Uh-huh.
And they got to find a way to overcome those offensive struggles.
Absolutely. It's not going to be easy.
For those listening at home, think about this.
Yeah.
Can the Eagles make a run in the playoffs with just their defense?
Right.
Or do they need to find another level on offense?
It's something to think about.
It's a question we'll all be watching to see play out.
For sure.
They're an interesting team, for sure.
They really are tough to figure out.
So much potential, but some clear weaknesses too. Well, we've been focusing a lot on what the Eagles need to improve.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about what they're already doing well.
Sure.
Besides the defense, obviously.
Yeah.
What else gives them a chance to make a run?
Well, one thing is the coaching art. I think they've done a really good job putting their players in a position to succeed.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to panic under pressure. You know, they've faced adversity before.
Right.
This is a team that's been battle-tested all season.
So they have that kind of mental toughness.
I think so. They believe in themselves, and they have confidence from having success in the past.
Yeah.
And that can make a big difference in the playoffs.
Absolutely. So they know they can handle the pressure.
Yeah.
But can they do it again against even better teams?
Right. That's the big question.
Especially in the divisional round.
Well, their next opponent is very talented on offense.
Okay.
So can they shut them down? Can they hide their own weaknesses on offense?
So many things to think about.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Definitely. It really feels like it comes down to that balance for them.
Yep.
The defense needs to keep playing at a high level.
Uh-huh.
And the offense just needs to do enough to support them.
And don't forget about special teams.
Oh, that's right.
That opening kickoff turnover was huge.
Yeah, it really set the tone.
If they can keep making plays on special teams, it could be a big advantage.
Special teams can be a difference maker.
No doubt, every little thing counts in the playoffs.
Exactly. Every yard, every possession.
Every point matters.
Okay, so as we wrap things up here,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway for our listeners? What should they be watching for in this divisional round game?
I'd say watch the adjustments.
Okay.
See how the Eagles try to take away their opponent's strengths.
Right.
And look for any signs that the offense is improving.
Even if it's just a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And keep an eye on those turnovers.
Always crucial.
You know, turnovers can really swing a game.
Yeah, that's great advice. I think the key is to look beyond the obvious stuff.
Yeah, look deeper.
Look beyond the headlines and the basic stats.
Right. Do your research, watch the film.
Because, as we've seen, the Eagles are a complex team.
For sure.
Lots of potential, but also some question marks.
And it's going to be fun to watch their journey through the playoffs.
Absolutely. So, to all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
keep digging deeper, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.
That's what it's all about.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.